Hello, it's Tom and welcome back to Train Sim TV. In today's video we're going to be taking you for a look and a drive and a bit of an exploration along the all new Rivet Games Lake Constance and Schaffhausen Kreuzlingen route. This is a 45km route which you can pick up from justtrains.net and of course the Steam store as well. The route is available for £27.99 and it comes of course with the 45km route, 18 detailed stations and the SBB RABe 5262-8 EMU in Turbo branded delivery, as you can see in front of us now. We're going to get ourselves sorted on this one. This is one of the contained scenarios with the route. You also do get 7 career scenarios, 2 railfan, and I think there's some free roams in there. I'm not quite sure on the free roams myself, but I do know there is the other ones. So this is a scenario which you will have seen me drive on Just Trains' stream a bit back, but it was an enjoyable run. There's a good mixture of request stops and stuff that we can talk and show you about as well along the way, and it was a nice length to do again as a video, so we're going to do this one rather than do part of a route. We'd rather do the full one for you so you get to see the whole of its glory, the detail. So we're going to get ourselves straight in here. Got the doors open. Wrong button, press 1. So first of all I'm going to put the pop-up back up which comes on when you open the scenario. So if you are familiar with the Rivet Games' Swiss products, you will know how the signalling sort of works for the request stops. So it goes to say, on this route there are 12 stations along the way which are request only stops. A passenger on board the train can press a request button to let you know if they wish to leave the train at the next station. This will be indicated by a halt in brackets H, which is down here next to the speedo to the left. So that will light up yellow to let you know that someone wants to get off. And you do also get like an audible bing bong sound as well, so that also gives you a notification that someone wants to get off. The other way how these request stops work is if there is a passenger at the next platform requesting to board the train, they will press a button at an information point on the station which activates the request approach stop signal that has 2 flashing white lights. So I can't zoom into it because of course it's a pop-up, but if you look at that image next to where the H is, you will see a diamond little plated signal with a black line in it and 2 white lights. Those white lights will flash when you're approaching the station to tell you that you would have to stop. If you don't have the audible bing bong halting sound and all that go off, or the flashing lights, you can proceed straight through the station towards the next one. It's very simple. Once you get used to the signalling system and how it all works, it's a really nice drive. I really enjoyed it the other day. So I hope you do enjoy this one. So I'm going to close that and we're going to get ourselves prepared, ready for departure. I have already set up the lights, so the next thing we need to do is pull out the wing mirrors. So at the minute the wing mirrors are closed in. So if I get rid of the hood, and on the left panel there is a wing mirror button somewhere around here, which is this one here. So if I press that, the mirrors go out. The next thing we need to do is set up our destination. So on this panel here, you won't be able to see my mouse because it's all turned off on it, but you should see the panel. So if I press it, I need to put on this one, it's 218 and the tick at the top for enter. That puts our stop for Kreuzlingen. Passenger aboard the train, please proceed at 1301 to the next timetable stop at Dissenhofen when the signal is clear for departure. So obviously you can see, I'm going to pause this for a second. Press 8 and pause. So you can see that we now have the destination up. The lights are set up as well. You can put these in different states. So if I just indicate these, that is into, I think, yard operation. Those are obviously tail lights, and that is operating mode. Again, tail lamps there. You've got tail lamp. I think just tail lamps there without the cyclops. You can also put, of course, the top cyclops on as well. So the cyclops is the top centre headlamp. So the train itself, in the Turbo branded livery, as you can see there, very smart. So another good thing that Rivet Games do is also they usually include some rolling stock with their routes, which is always nice to see. And again, they have not failed in the detail on this one. Like with everything else, The textures are fantastic. The detail on the actual unit itself is lovely. It's even got all this jointed cables in between the two cars there. The destination blinds are really, really clear as well when you go right in there. Nice on the dot matrix. The inside detail is lovely as well. We'll go into the passenger view as well. You've got your first class at the front. Big massive doors and lovely huge windows for the passenger to gaze out of on their way. So you've got all the detail on the bottom of the car there. All that's in really nice high detail as well. It's slightly blurry when you get near it, but it is very much able to be read on the side there. You've got the logo in there as well. These are nice and clear. You've got all bits and pieces there. You've got the trap magnet there as well. I'm not overly sure if this works. I've not actually managed to gather if that does work or not, but we'll have a look through and see if we can figure that one out. As I've never had any use to actually use it the other day. I'm not sure if it's just there as obviously of course with the model, but I don't know if it's operational or not. As well under there you can see all bits of cabling and stuff like that as well on the bogies. Bogies are quite hidden, to be fair, on this one, because of course it's a bit like a tram sort of style vehicle. It's like a bit of a subway sort of metro kind of vehicle. So you can't really see the whole of the bogies. This is a bit like the power pack, because these are built by Stadler. So if you think of Stadler flirts that run in the Great Eastern Mainline area and Norwich and all that sort of stuff, they have a power pack in the centre. So if you just go in here, you can sort of see how that is. It's exactly like what you would get in a way on the Stadler flirts in the UK. So this is where all obviously the electrical stuff, or the electrical feed comes through the pantograph, and there'll be loads of fuse boxes and what's not behind these panels and stuff. So everything to do with that all obviously goes through there. Again, even got standard class back up here. So first class is just at one end, as on this side it's not actually like cordoned off with a glass door. Very funky seating design as well on the headrest, all different colours as well. Really nice bright environment, even with the different coloured doors as well. I think it's quite a funky but basic livery. I do like that Thurbo as well. I like the colours on it, to be honest. As well, so if you go to the top of the vehicle, you can see all the air conditioning units and stuff like that are contained on the top. You've got the pantograph there as well, which is lovely detail as well. As well with obviously Rivet Games routes, where we do the high mountainous routes that they do. The pantograph obviously compresses when you go towards tunnels. Now there is a couple of tunnels on this route, but I haven't checked if this route has that feature where it goes down or not. I'm not too sure, so when we come to a tunnel we'll try and remember and have a look at that. But yeah, as well, carry on through, you've got all the detail on top of that. You've got stuff like the do not stand on the top panels. Another thing just to mention is Rivet Games' YouTube channel. If you're like really into their routes, they do have a fantastic YouTube channel. I will pop the link up in the corner, so the little pop-up should come up at any time now, as well if you do want to have a look at them at some point. They do a lot of interviews on how their products are built and the stages that they go through. They're really, really interesting. I massively recommend having a look at them if you have a bit of spare time. Going on to the coupler, really high detail on this as well. You can see under here all the cables and stuff that are coming off there. So it's not just a coupler in one big bulk, it's got all that extra detail going in there as well. It's really nicely high detailed on that as well. I'm not sure how it works. I'm not sure if it's sort of like just magnetised together or something. There's nothing like locking jaws on them or anything like that, so I'm assuming they're just sort of like clamped together on this as such, just like clip in. I'm assuming that these must sort of like bend into each other in real life and just like lock in that way, rather than like on UK. So we've got the locking teeth that's way. So we shall have a look at the passenger views. So we'll start off in first class. So this is got a glass door stopping everyone else from coming in here. Nice leather seating, really spacious and really bright environment to be sat in. That's really nice detail going on here. Going into standard. Oh, hang on, we've got another one here as well. You've got a stand-up view, which I always like a stand-up view, so you can have a little gaze through into the driver's panel there. Into standard class. So this is the. I'm not sure if these are cushiony seated or more like plastic or not, but I do like them colourful headrests. Really funky. Again, nice big windows so you can see out on your journey. Lovely detail again all around. Really high textured seating qualities there. So that's back into first class there. So we're going to go and get ourselves prepared. I'm going to open that window a little bit. Let a little bit of air on. We are all set. We're going to put our HUD back onto small. So it's 70 at the minute. So we have a cruise control. So we'll put that on with Y up there so you can see the little arrow that's moved up. And pop it into... hopefully, he says, should go. Yeah, my pantograph is definitely up. Let's try again. Helps if I take my brake off, doesn't it? Not all combined, that's what I forgot to do. There we go. We have power, hooray! Right. You'd think I'd driven this before. I'm just going to put my field of view a little bit more forward because I feel like I'm really far back. I'll pop my headphones on as well because I currently haven't got them on. The first part of the video. I'd like to be able to hear when I have a signal tone. So we're down to 40, so I need to press my control button, which is C to bring it down, so it puts it down to 40 there. So now we will not go over that 40 kilometre mark. So that's stating 70 on there as well in a minute. So now we can go on there and put it back up to 70. So that is telling us that we have to be down to 40 kilometers an hour on that little panel by the next signal. Otherwise we'll start losing career points. So in a moment I'm going to take the power off. I'm going to start slowing down now. The headlights are on full at the minute. These are the handbrakes. Cabin lights as well. So you can see now that we are at the right speed, and we need to acknowledge that as well. So what this is this Zung acknowledgement Zub 3. It's a bit like AWS, if you will. So we have a station which is a request stop, so we need to look out for that little panel. Nothing's come up on the halt panel just yet. We do have some flashing lights, so if you focus ahead of the screen, you'll see that in between the two tracks there, just before the platform, that there is a flashing white light on that process. Well, I'll just come and show you that. So that tells us that we need to stop, and there's a guy on the station waiting, so we're going to start stopping now. So this is futile. I hope I said that right. It's probably wrong, but it's the best we're going to get. So this is one of the request stops along the route. I'm just going to close the website down because I'm going to go through some history as well and hopefully get that right in a moment. I'm just waiting for the doors to close. There we go. It also tells you that the doors are shut there. It also notes as well which side the doors are open when you stop at the platform on the bottom. So that's telling us we've got the full doors shut. So you can see the amps. I think it's the amps on the right side there. It's the amps that are going down. I've been done for speeding even though I've got 40 kilometres on as well. It's surged through a little bit. We'll go up to 85 in a moment. Languisen is the next request stop as well. We're up to 70 again, so I'll put the cruise control up to 70 and we shall start taking some power now. So the Lake Constance, Schaffhausen to Kreuzlingen route is part of the Swiss Lake Line from Schaffhausen to Rorschach. The Swiss part of the train ring around the Bodenese Lake Constance, located in the Thurgau region. This route features the sunning part from Kreuzlingen to Schaffhausen. We're going to take a look at these signals in a minute just in case we have to stop before I go through any more of this information. Any pronunciations that are wrong, I do apologise in advance. I'm doing my best. Right, so the next signal is not flashing, so we need to now keep a lookout in case we get a light on the dash. I'm going to take the power off just for a moment, just in case. We are not stopping, so that's good. So we're up to 80 kilometres as well. So, the route as it is today was built in 4 segments from 1869 to 1895. Initially, there were 3 Swiss train companies who had built routes in this area. One after another, the NOB, Swiss North Eastern Railway, took over the separate routes and united them. In 1902, when Switzerland started nationalising its railway companies, SBB took over the route. They started electrifying the route in 1928, but because of its status of the branch line, it took until 1969 to complete the electrification. So it's quite a long time, that is. Right, so we've got another request stop coming up. This is Schlatt. We need to keep an eye on this. I love that as well. That detail up there is fantastic on that bridge. Little cage. Right, so we need to down to 40 by the way, this next signal, which I've not done. It's my fault. Well, you never know, we might get down to it actually. No, we haven't. Not done too bad. We've lost 19 points. It's not too bad. So we need to look out for a signal. There's a lot to keep you going, by the way, with this route. If you're not too familiar how the signals and that work, it can take a little bit just to get going. But once you get the grasp of it, it's really fun. It's nice to see that Rivet Games have gone into like a more flat route rather than the usual alpine, hilly mountain stuff. But it's a lot easier for them to build as well. We are not stopping here either, as of yet. So we get a few different tones on the horn as well. It's randomised on the space key. That signals that the 40 kilometre has now been removed and lifted, so we can now go back up to 85 and it'll soon climb up to 110 for a short while, dropping back down to 100 and then rising up to 110. I'm going to take it to 100 because we're never going to get to 110. Right, so in the 90s the SBB started to slowly decommission the route. But in 1996, the MTHB, the Mittel Thurgau Bahn or Central Thurgau Railway, took over the route and started to modernise the route. The tracks and the trains then in 2002 became the SBB subsidiary Thurgau look and took the route as... Hang on. Shut that. So Thurgau took over the route as well as most of the rolling stock. Right, okay. I'm just reading you history off the manual, by the way. I'm not going through Wikipedia, I'm just going what's been given. This comes with the route. So this is St. Catherine Entel. I am majorly speeding there. I'm going to have no points in my career score. Took a good job of this scenario already. Even though I didn't do too good. I think I got about 500 on the first attempt. Down to 60 on that. You never know, we might revive this. As well, today the route is operated with modern multiple units, running every half hour in both directions. It's not a massively frequent, it's frequent-ish, but I suppose for a route that has crossing loops and stuff like that, it's fairly regular, if you will. I love the detail. It's different. It's interesting to see a route so flat. You usually think Rivet Games and you think mountainous Alpine range and West Coast Main Line, Trent Valley, of course, and when there used to be Thompson and that before changing to Rivet Games. Right, so that audio bing bong has now given us the H on the dash. That tells us that we are stopping at our next stop. Someone wants to get off. Quite a nice little halt, this one. St. Catherine Entel. Some of the route features are the 45km route from Schaffhausen to Kreuzlingen, the SBB LNN type signalling system with custom designed signal models and features including animated brake test, operating yeah, I can't say that. Basically indicated for entering occupied platforms, so I assume that is something to do with this. I think I don't have a clue. I'm talking off the top of my head here. I'm trying to figure out what's what on that one. Some of these I can't actually pronounce, so I really do apologise. Free state ground signals that function correctly between main signals. Integra Signum safety system track magnets in the cabin equipment. Zub safety system cabin display. So that is, and that I think that's a Zub. Some speed on. You get over 50 new building models to capture the unique architecture of the region. Over 200 overhead line equipment catenary models. Whether they're new or recycled, I'm not too sure. Some might have been recycled, I'm not overly sure on that one. Custom bridge, underpass and tunnel mouth portals designed to accurately represent the engineering of the route. That was 60 at the next signal, isn't it? This is our actual first timetable stop at Desenhofen. I drove this a lot better on the JT stream, I'm not going to lie. But still enjoying it. I'll show you the route map as well shortly. We'll have a look around the station as well before we continue doing some more of the route features. Lovely detailed. So first of all, one of the things I do like is these little crossings that are in between platforms. And these are really nicely detailed as well. Lovely buildings as well. The detail that goes into these is absolutely fantastic. Ticket machine as well. Got loads of bikes. The light bikes around here. Quite funky bike holders as well. I love the birds in the actual glass panels throughout the route as well. Quite a nice touch. Yeah, lovely. Absolutely lovely stuff. I love this store stuff as well, like these big transformers and stuff. And back into the cab. 18 highly detailed station models are also included on the route, designed from their survey of the route. You get the SBB RABe 5262/8 EMU in Turbo branded livery is what we are driving now. Authentic cab and passenger views, which we've also gone over. Driver operated destination display system, which we've also been going over with you. Passengers are now boarded the train. Please proceed at 1316 to the next stop is Stein am Rhein, when the next signal is clear for departure, which it actually is, so we can continue. You also get the driver operated destination display, which we've just said, I think. You get operating wing mirrors, we've done them as well, show you them. Route is fully configured for quick drive scenarios, 7 career mode scenarios, and a good guided tour, which I think the guided tour is about 60-minute long nearly for the actual loco, or unit, shall we say. And then you get 2 times of the rail fan moded scenarios as well. To 95, we're going to be down to 80, so I'm going to leave it at 80 by the time we get to it. I think we'll be about there. So route map is as follows, so it's still quite twisty and turny in some little places as well, so it's not just a big massive straight line. This first section is more straight, but they sort of like twists and wiggles around a bit towards the end. Schlattingen is the next request stop. Keep an eye on that signal as well. There was one station on the request one that caught me out, and I missed that in the stream. I went straight through it. The signal was quite late, so hopefully we won't miss it this time. Our timetable stop is about 7.5 kilometers away. It's still 33 kilometers to Kreuzlingen. I'll take the power off just in case we are stopping, because I cannot quite remember if it was one of these ones that we have to stop at. No, I don't think it was. I think it was a bigger station we got requested for. It's a bit further on yet. We're up to 95 kilometers in the moment. We've got a little bit of brief history for the loco as well. Loco unit, if you will. So it's been built by Stadler, and the RABe 526 AK and AKL are owned and operated by Thurbo on the St Gallen Regional Express Network. It comes in two variants, the RABe 526 AK GTW 206 and the higher capacity RABe 526 AKL 28. The GTW28 has an extra coach unit allowing for increased capacity of 110 passengers. They also have an option to automatically couple multiple units together to form larger configurations. There's a little bit of that in there. There's a massive manual as well that comes with the unit. I'm not going to go through it all. I'm just going to give you the history. It's all annotated and all that. And I think there is also a big massive number code as well for the actual destinations. So if you're wondering what destinations are, there is a number coded chart in the manual for that. So all is contained. A bit of tarlac there. We're down to 85. Bring that cruise control down a little bit. I think Etzwillen, was it this one? It was one of the earlier request ones I'm sure I went through. I'm going to keep my eye on this one. It could have been this one. It is this one. I'm sure it is. Well, maybe it wasn't. Just take it easy just in case. There's no flashing lights. So the next station along the line is our next actual timetabled stop. Stein am Rhein. Love the detail on the overhead wiring. One thing you always get with Rivet Games, you always get the good detail with the OHLE. There's a good mixture in the foliage as well on the line, which is nice to see. I think there was a few older Kujui or earlier train sim days bits of foliage mixed in there as well. Not too much, but it does appear here and there. You can see it in the lighter stuff. And the other thing is that air hiss and compression sound as well as I think that's one of the old Kuju release sounds. Other than that, it sounds good. Just get a little bit triggered sometimes we hear the older stuff, but it's good. Very, very quiet though in terms of when you start going, because all new stuff is always quiet anyway. It does look smart though, well I'll say. Quite a striking design in terms of the looks. Very sleek. Just one guy getting off. He's not made his mind up over there. Passengers now boarded the train. Please proceed at 13:25, which we're on time. Next stop for the timetable is Steckborn, when the signal is clear for departure. Picks up speed as well, I must say. I'm just going to go to OHLE quickly. So there's the detail stuff I like to see is these. It's got all these tensioners and stuff like that, all the weights and stuff as well. So there's loads of detail in these. Like you've got these clamps as well that stop the weights from moving around. Which is nice. And you've got all the overlaps as well, where one wire starts and another one's going to run off over here. So it'll run so far, then the other wire comes off here, so a new cable and continues onwards. Which is nice. Also, the detail on the level crossings is cool. Get a nice wobble on these. Keep an eye on that station as well. It should go up in a minute. There's a little bit of a wobble animation on these as well, which is nice. Which is nice to see. Oh, another station coming up to Eschens. Or Eschans maybe. Now on this next signal. Like all routes as well from Rivet Games, you get plenty of line side detail with like the roads and the fences and stuff like that. You also get all your nice super elevated curves as well. Wouldn't be a Rivet Games route without the mega super elevated track work. So we are stopping here as well. Aircon unit as well. Quite an interesting building. No idea what this would be. But it's something to do with maybe freight or something like that. Pops in and stops by the station. Still 8 kilometres or so to our next timetable stop at Steckborn. Timetable stop, we've got Steckborn and Kreuzlingen, which is 23 kilometres away. Amern is the next request platform, which will be coming up soon, about 2.5 kilometres. Quite an interesting little trackside hut there as well. It's quite interesting. Little grass bank on it as well, it's quite cool. So they've added a little bits of extra detail in there. Massive step. Cool. So this is Lake Constance as well, the lake that runs alongside with the route. Or the track that runs alongside the lake, shall I say. I'm going to say the lake was probably there first. I love all the buildings that are in the route, all the houses and stuff. Loads of atmosphere. Hey, we're bringing that score back as well on the crew at 342 on the minus. It was at minus 600 before. We might get into the plus. If I behave myself. Slow it down a little bit just in case we do have to stop. We are straight through. A little bit of off-the-topic information as well with Rivet Games. It's nice to see that they have now delved into Train Sim World. They're producing a diesel shunter for the German market. And I don't think that'd be too far off. I think it comes with wagons as well. No idea what it is in terms of class, but I've just seen that they are working on it, so it's nice to see that there is more stuff coming from Rivet Games on that. So hopefully we might even get to see a route from them in the coming months and maybe within the year, who knows, on that front. We won't pull that emergency brake. Different views, you get a nice vantage point on that one where you can see the whole cab. And flashlights as well. All sorts of bits and bobs. Just under 3 kilometres now to Steckborn. 17 to Kreuzlingen. About 15 kilometres drive between the last 2 stops, along with, of course, the timetabled. That's the timetable stuff. Of course, we've also got the request stops, which we might contend with along the way. So, you know them. See if I can get a screenshot as well. Wrong side of the sun there, of course. No, I'm not keen on that. Nope. Oh, I've missed the signal and gone. That's gone bad. Still go for a screenshot though. It's just gone painfully wrong there. Hang on, let me sort this out. Typical. There we go, moving again. Down to 40 as well for the next signal. Always watch your signals, guys. Take that from someone that's not a pro with signals. Some shops there. We're just approaching our next station now. Bit of an industrial area here as well. One thing I'm not overly sure on is the story behind the wagon. I'm not sure if these are just statically placed on the route, because it doesn't mention any wagons coming with the route, you see. So I've not really got a clue what's going on with these, because they seem to be dotted about at certain areas. But I mean, they could actually be usable. I could be wrong. But yeah, there was nothing stated in the manual, so I don't really want to say that they are included to pull along and stuff, because they might not be. That's an interesting crossing. The gates are there, but there's not one here. That is interesting. I mean, of course it's a yard, but even still, different. Again, another lovely little station. We'll take a look around this one. A lot of detail going on here. Pause that for a minute. So again, lots of detail. Even these, like, you got these poles, like I think. I'm not sure if these are electric actually. Electric poles, possibly. Wherever they are, there's loads of them. They have an electrical phone. Station itself, again, massively detailed. You've got your little hedges as well in there. It's got a supermarket. I like benches as well, they're quite cool. They're all very comfy to sit on though. Like cheese graters. Quite cool though, different. Not as many bikes here. Again, nice to see. The Swiss flag hanging there. Really nice. Loads of detail. These buildings are fantastic. Really nice houses. These things on them. Not what they're called, to be quite fair. Yeah, I like them. Some of them shut as well, like half shut and bits open. Really cool. Balconies and stuff like that. Top marks on detail though. Quite a bit of a weight on this one. Exactly, well, 15.13 to go. We drew off here at 39. We must have been a little bit early, to be quite honest. We definitely was early. But we're nearly there on the in the plus points. Passengers now boarded the train. Please proceed at 13:39 to the timetable stop of Kreuzlingen when the signal is clear for departure. Oh, cab light as well. We'll be back up to 80 in a moment. The next request stop is Billingen. So lakes just come back into view again here as well. Look at these little picnic benches as well that go alongside with the lake. I should probably try and get a screenshot here actually. This is one of these routes that I'm really struggling to get a good screenshot in. Like, trying to get what you need. I think it's just the lighting for this one. It's just quite hard to get this on this scenario. Really, I'm struggling. A lot of Lamborghinis in this route. I think I'm going with the screenshot we got originally. Although, I love that. I love these little scenes. Like this guy's here just photographing the boats and the view. Fab. Volvo. He's on holiday. Just the detail here, like see these cars underneath the little canopies, like the garages and stuff like that. Really cool. There's someone in that little building. He's been placed in there as a little Easter egg, hasn't he? Oh, he's walking around. That's cool. Let's turn around to watch the train. Right, it's up Bellingham. Let's not miss the signals. Let's keep with it. Down to 60 for the next signal. So this was one of the things we clocked on our stream as well. There was his dog. You got all these little picnic areas and stuff like that. These little cafes or whatever they are, little chalets. For a bite to eat, have a sandwich, watch the trains go past. Fantastic. Ooh, love them. Nice detail. These remind me of what do you call it? Station on Derwent Valley Line. Can't remember what the station's called now. What's it called? Matlock Bath. Where the cable cars are. That sort of same design. They call that Little Switzerland on that route. Let's get back in the cab and behave myself. Oh, we're definitely not stopping at that one. Look at these route indicators as well if it's still on. So that tells us that we're going straight ahead. We've got to proceed. A bit like a possible repeater, if you will, for the signal. It's either a repeater or one for the route. I think it's to do with the points, personally. Loads of crop fields as well. Well, these are crops of some sort. Yeah, that are the new trees being planted. I think actually there might be new trees being held up actually. Right, so we've got Mannenbach, Sallenstein. which is the next request stop. I'll take the power off for a moment, just in case we have to stop. We do. So we've been told that someone wants to get off the train. I'm going to start decreasing the power now. Put the brakes on. And someone also does want to get on, the lights are flashing. We've got both. One off and one on. Cafe Ristorante. Cafe and bar. I mean, overall the textures are fantastic. There's a little bit of flickering there, but it's just a bit of the Z fighting going through. The quality in the builds of these are absolutely superb. It's all 3D and stuff like that on here. I'll give it a minute, I'm going to have a look at this. I love it. Really nice. Love the roof texturing as well. Just sit there and just eat your food, have a drink, watch trains go by. A waiting area. It's 9 kilometers to go to Kreuzlingen now. Ermetingen, or Ermetingen, by looks of that actually, is our next request stop. Whether we're stopping or not is a different thing. Down to 70 kilometers. Just looking now for the flashing signal, if it's going to be there or not, flashing. No one has requested to get off yet. The signal is also not flashing, so we are continuing through. As of current. Treboltingen is the next request stop. We go up to 90 kilometers an hour in a moment. And we ain't stopping at this one even, no one's requested or asked to get on, even though she stood there. Tasia Willen and Gotti Barn is the next request stop. I'm going to take the power for a moment just in case we are stopping. Oh, we are stopping. Someone's off. And someone does want to get on. So we're only 2.89 kilometres to our final stop at Kreuzlingen. I am going to assume, just looking at the map, if we have any more stations or not, which we don't. We're literally straight down here. We have also missed some AI, unfortunately, as well. Must have been a little bit late. So, my little roundup on this one, little summary is, overall, a fantastic route. In terms of detail and the level of detail, and for what you get with the route, is fantastic. You get so much in terms of custom assets. You get new signals. You get the train as well, which is a lovely. It's a pleasure to drive. Really nice and easy to do. Plenty of detail and feature on that, but yeah, the route itself is superb, really nice. If you're into your Swiss stuff, don't hesitate at all, go for it, is what I say. Every time I come back to drive the Rivet Games routes, I enjoy them even more each time. I get to learn a bit more about Switzerland and stuff, so it's nice. It's not usually my stuff. We don't usually do a lot of foreign stuff on Train Sim TV. So the only sort of time I tend to drive anything like this really is on here. I wouldn't usually go out my way to drive it, but when I come to do them here, it's really nice. It's a bit of a change as well from doing the normal UK content really, which is nice. it's been an absolute pleasure to do this video as well. I look forward to seeing what Rivet Games come up with next as well. Of course, they're doing their next, got a local Tracer World coming out soon. But what will we see next? Will we see a new route on TS 2020, or will they move over to Train Sim World 2020? That is the big question. So we'll have to just wait and see on that one. I do hope they continue to do for both, to be honest. Depends, of course, if their team's big enough to work over to Sims, but we shall wait and see on that one. Will they come back and do some UK content as well? Is another good question, which I would love to see another UK route done by the team. Shame we got Trent Valley, but then that was it really. But they've done a good job with the Swiss stuff so far from what I've played. I think I've played them all up to now. They've all been a hit with me, so happy days. So yeah, massive thumbs up. I've really enjoyed this one. Once again doing this scenario, it's the second time I've done this scenario. I've enjoyed it just as much as the first time around. And this is Kreuzlingen, which is the terminus of our journey and the terminus of our video. So before I open them doors, a massive thank you to everyone that's watched this video. If you've enjoyed it, do like, share, subscribe and all that lot. Any feedback, if you have any feedback, do let us know. Anything you'd like to see in the future, leave us a comment. We'll do our best to try and fulfill that. Don't forget, you can catch us on Twitch at twitch.tv/trainsimtv_Tom and also trainsimtv_Mark. At my channel, which is the main one, which is trainsimtv_Tom, will be the one that's live Wednesdays and Fridays, usually between 7:30 and 8 PM. And then we go off into the evening with various things such as route building, driving scenarios and stuff like that, and a general chit chat. So if that's your sort of thing, do come and join us. Again, a massive thanks. Hope you've enjoyed, and we will catch you on the next video. Take care and stay safe out there, guys.